Self. Self is what you are. You are that fathomlessness in which experience and concepts appear. Self is the moment which has no coming or going. It is the heart, Atman, emptiness. It shines to itself, by itself, and in itself. Self is what gives breath to life. You need not search for it, it is here. You are that through which you would search. You are what you are looking for. And that is all it is. Only self is. You were never born, and though only desires take birth, nothing has ever happened. Nothing has ever existed. This nothingness you are. And this is the ultimate truth. You are totally alone because beauty alone is. Only self is. You simply cannot deny that you are consciousness. You dwell in the lotus of the heart as joy and bliss. Keep quiet, and you will reveal yourself to yourself. Self-knowledge is that which is worth sacrificing anything for, because everything else is just a mirage rising out of consciousness. Self is the indweller of all beings. So love of others is love of self, yourself. Self is the greatest love and the dearest of all lovers. Love is the attraction of self to self in self. There is nothing besides this love, this source of joy. See your own beauty, and you are this indweller, this love and the beauty itself. Neti neti. But what you are cannot be rejected. It is now only. Waking or sleeping or dreaming, it is still the now which only is. Only self is. This present moment is light, is self. This moment is not bondage or freedom. It is most precious beyond ideation. This moment is the screen on which all projects. It is always still and untouched and is out of time. There is no difference between the ultimate and this presence. To be in this moment, abandon all desires, including the desire to be in it. That which has no name or form has millions of names. Being, awareness, bliss, isness, Atman, truth, self, auspiciousness, beauty, freedom, divine love, fullness, emptiness, consciousness, nowness, effortlessness, here-ness, silence, Brahman. As the tongue speaks the word tongue, so you speak these names. To avoid the veiling of your nature with preconceptions, Buddha spoke of self in negative terms, like anatta, untouched, unmanifest, unseen, unapproachable, unknowable, and unstained. Before notions and creations, you exist. So there are no words for that beyond words and language. Self doesn't need to understand itself. Freedom is before the concept of freedom. You are what remains when the concepts of I, mind, and past disappear. Nothingness is no concept. Identify as peace, beauty, love. Do not experience it. No, I am inactive, The activity takes place in me. I am that. I am the screen. I never come and I never go. Identify as consciousness itself. If you do not forget who you are, this appearance of activity is the cosmic dance. Stay as I am, not as what comes and goes. The individual I sense is mind, but being has no frontiers. It is aware of itself. Identify as being. When mind is pure, you will see self in all beings. Purify the mind by removing all concepts, especially the concept of purity. Then self reveals itself to the empty mind, which is consciousness. Ego and mind and all creations arise out of self as self. Even the ugliest of doubts and the most separate of differences rise from the beautiful source as isness. In self there are no do's and don'ts. If there is unhappiness, you are not unhappy. You are the untouched awareness of this unhappiness. As waves are not separate from ocean, nor rays from sun, you are not separate from existence. You are the moment in which all is. The scriptures speak of the three holy rivers within. These are existence, consciousness, and bliss. Being beyond thought and effort, they cannot be objectified or subjectified. They are so dear, so near, behind the retina and before the breath. You need not see this. You are it. You are not different than existence, than being. See being everywhere by not looking. The seeing is being, not the object seen. Consciousness is the original mother. If you know this, she will take care of you and give you happiness, peace, and deathlessness. This mother we do not recognize, and this gets us into trouble. This unknown is your nature. Return to that, because the known will give no lasting peace, no lasting love. Bliss is eternal, even though it appears to arise when the mind dies. Bliss is not an experience. It is your nature. This is the heart of the wise. This gift is always calling to everyone. You are seated in the heart of all beings. This is the truth. Your face shines. As the king gardening in the garden is still the king and not the gardener, so the I Am will be in the garden of the world and remain I Am. It is you who is active in all the activities of the world. Go to where the physicality of the world rises from, and you will discover the vastness, the secret, sacred core of your heart. This is who you are. Behold any object or take yourself to be anything, and you will forget this. All due to desires and hopes. All is one, and one is all. Identify yourself with the common center, giving up old habits of desires and hopes, and you are the emperor of the universe. Go to this here and now, and you are this here and now. All is self. The only difference between you and me are the words and concepts of you and me. Self in you is the self in me and in all beings. The source of everything is the same, and this is self. This is love and compassion. From self, try to go anywhere. I am the ocean, and all forms seen are my waves dancing on me. This is the knowledge. When waves rise, the ocean loses nothing, and when waves fall, the ocean gains nothing. As waves play, so the ocean plays. I am ocean. I am water. I am wave. Separation between water and ocean and wave cannot exist. There are no differences, no disturbances, no one to be disturbed. Giving rise to an I or any other thought is giving rise to a wave. Water remains water, so allow everything to be, for it is yourself. As a river discharges into ocean, discharge into what you are. Happiness, bliss, being, cosmos. Here is only awareness. Here, only self is. You are that which is present even in forgetfulness, because you are aware that you are forgetful. You are the consciousness of awareness in the three states of waking, dreaming, and sleeping. Only self does not vanish in these three states. Self is no mind. No mind has no body. From this beauty of no mind, art and intuition arise. Nothing ever happened or ever will. You have always been perfect love and peace. What changes is not real, and what is real cannot change. You are that secret, that purity, beyond change and description. But if you touch the I, you become polluted with pride. The I rising from the effort of ego is not the real I. The real I knows that everything is my reflection projection. Simply knowing I am is effortlessness, is meditation, is Sahaja, and the natural state of being. In every speck of dust there are innumerable Buddhas shining in innumerable universes. It is very hard to explain it to you and for you to understand, but this is a fact. You can see it. Everything merges out of the atom. It is a mystery that no one can solve. It is the same as the moment that we normally speak of in satsang. In it you can see all your lives. Everyone is intrinsically Buddha. Questioner: I want the revelation of eternal, undefinable being. Papaji: this is who you are. Why have doubt about it? Enlightenment is not about words and thoughts and concepts which can be doubted. Enlightenment is always here. By here I do not mean this present space. Here is something within where mind cannot reach. Presence is always here, and you are always that. This here is not the opposite of there. This here is nowhere. It is your heart. When mind is still, all comes back to the heart. All the cosmos is but a speck in your heart. Turn mind over into this here, and it is lost. Then only light, wisdom, and love remain, and this you are not different or apart from. If I am not this body-mind form, what am I? You are formlessness, which takes the form of Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. This is your form. You are truth. You are Shiva. You are beauty. This is what you are directly working on here. But you are not going toward this. You are this. I am Satyam. I am Shivam. I am Sundaram. I am Satchitananda. This is the form of the Atman, truth, consciousness, bliss. This is your own self. You are not hankering after it. It is within. Bliss is within. That you are. Truth is within. That you are. Beauty is within. That you are. Love is within. That you are. This is addressing to your own self. I want to stay in my own self. Then decide that only self exists and you will never be out of it. It is unlimited. How can you jump in and out of it? How can you jump into limitations when you are the unlimited? Decide. I am self. I am truth. I am God. I am grace. And there will be no trouble. I feel at home in consciousness. Where are you when you are not home? Everywhere is consciousness and everywhere is home. Everywhere is but a small corner of your heart. You are that vast. There is no trouble because you are always home. Surrender your ego and you are home. I had a dream while in the West that you gave me the name Satchitananda. What is this name? It is the name of the self, of the formlessness. Though everybody has this name, it is hidden in the core of your heart. Satchitananda is the indweller of all beings, but few recognize this. It is not the name of a person, but of that which has the qualities of truth and consciousness and bliss. All three are one. Wherever there is truth, satyam, there is chit, consciousness, and also bliss, ananda. You say that this was a dream, but I tell you that it was neither a dream nor waking nor sleeping, but something that transcends these. Thus it is known as the fourth state, or turiya in Sanskrit. In turiya you have the darshan of God, and receive the messages of God. This is why this dream is so easy to remember while you tend to forget others. Is beingness the same as God? Is this Sahaja Samadhi? Beingness is very different from what most people call God. God is a concept created by you. Beingness is just beingness, and nobody created it because it is beyond creations and destructions. That in which all creations abide, including God, is called being. Sahaja Samadhi is the melting of the individual into the natural oneness and beingness of all things. It is the Samadhi which involves no effort, no use of mind. It is the natural Samadhi which is your natural state. If you are here and not thinking, it is Sahaja Samadhi. You can eat and drink and carry on any activity while in Sahaja. Sahaja Samadhi is self in the exquisite experience of the fullness of being. What is true awareness? There is the awareness, which is aware of objects, like flowers. True awareness is the awareness which is aware of the awareness of objects. It is the undisturbed simple awareness in which things rise and fall. There is an awareness beyond the awareness of objects and events. You are that awareness in which the awareness of objects stays. This awareness has no name, and when you try to give it a name, the trouble arises. You are nameless and formless. You can't see anything. Know, I am nameless and formless, and that I am aware of my own self. The pure consciousness will pull you back. It is not that you will enter into it. When you enter into it, it is ego entering. But when it pulls you, it has made the choice to take you home. This happens somehow, and we can't know why. Very rare beings are picked up by consciousness. Once drawn in that, man's travels are over. So do not give it a name, or it will just be another object of someone's observation. Consciousness cannot be observed. It is fullness itself, limitlessness, eternal itself. You have to merge with it. Actually, it is not merging. There is no word which describes it. You have to be as good and pure as it so that you are picked up by it. By your own efforts, you cannot do it. Just see that you are so beautiful that you are chosen by the bridegroom. This is how it ends. I hope you have understood. I feel like a distant observer of all that is going on. This observer cannot be touched by anyone. This observer is beyond any identification, any name, and any form. So when you are this observer, no one can touch you. You can't even touch yourself then, and there is no fear. You can go into the forest and be fearless of the lions and tigers. Just look into their eyes and nobody will eat you up. I have a glimpse of supreme consciousness. It was the expansion of consciousness and the absence of a center of existence. When you have a glimpse of anything, you become the seer of the glimpse, and what you glimpse is the object of the seer, the seen. To have a glimpse, you must have a seer, sight and seen. So how can you have a glimpse of supreme consciousness, because this can never be the object of anyone? Not even God can see this, because even God is an object of perception which a devotee loves. The devotee extends his mind, and this becomes God. This glimpse of superconsciousness is not possible. It cannot be objectified because it is the subject, though truly speaking it is not the subject either. Where there is no relation between subject and object, there can be no glimpse. The whole world is seer, sight, and seen, but this you cannot place in a category. When someone has a strong desire to be free, it moves towards superconsciousness, merges with it, and becomes that itself. As a moth runs to the flame and kisses it, what happens? No more moth. The flame rises in happiness and says, "Come, my dear boy, I have been waiting for you." This moth will not return. It has become the flame. Like this, there can be no glimpse. Whoever wants to be free is being led by something which has been calling that person. What relationship is between energy, golden light, and awareness? Water is English, agua is Spanish, pani is Hindi. 3 different names for the same substance. So you can call it Shakti or light. Light means to have knowledge of something, for instance, knowledge of the missing child. With the light you can see the child, and this light is knowledge. Knowledge is the energy which takes you to know that you are one. You are knowledge itself and energy, and this is the same thing as awareness. Only words are different according to different persons. One person will say, "I want to be free." A Buddhist will say, "I want to be empty." And still others want nirvana. All these different words mean the same thing which has no name. Pani, agua, water itself has no name. So it is only you who will call it awareness, light, or energy, but it doesn't know its own name because it is nameless and formless. Wherever there is a name, there must be something not true. Any name or form leads you to that which has no name or form. How will you find out what has no name or form? Don't try to search for the nameless and formless because you can't do that. But this light is there, and this is knowledge. This energy is awareness. There is no difference. Shakti and Shiva are the same. One is knowledge and the other is the energy to know. I, myself, am Shiva. Energy cannot die. Energy will always remain. Forms may appear or disappear, but energy will always be here. As the substratum? Yes, it is the substratum. And now the substratum knows by energy that I am the substratum. It doesn't make a difference. This knowledge of energy, that I am that, is energy itself, knowledge itself, light itself, wisdom itself. This is also called freedom. But I can have awareness, and I can have awareness of energy, so are they not separate? No, they are not separate. The wave rises from the ocean and appears separate. The name is different now. The movement is different. The height, breadth, and width are different. Also it moves, and now she forgets that once upon a time she was ocean. There's no difference between the content of the ocean and the wave. So now the wave somehow knows I am the ocean. So let there be movement towards shore. Let it rise and fall and disappear. This is the world appearing and disappearing, but the ocean is not worried at all. The substratum, the essence, doesn't mind that it has become a wave, and the question of falling and rising will not appear. So the energy will always be there? No, it will always be here. Wherever there is an ocean, there will be energy within itself that allows the waves to move and disappear. And if you die, that is equal to the wave falling into the ocean. Death you have only heard from someone. It is not your experience. Therefore you have agreed that you will die only because you have accepted from someone that you were born. But energy itself, the substance itself, does not die. The body, like wave and like forms, will disappear while the essence cannot change. This understanding is called energy. Returning to the substratum is called Shiva, and the ocean which does not change. I want to enter the cave of the heart and stay there. This here and now is the cave of the heart. In the books it is written that there is a cave in the heart, and you must have this idea from those old scriptures. Your desire to find this cave takes you out of here and now. Then you lose the experience of now and search for the cave which never exists. Don't try to live in a cave, for the cave is just a concept. You can only live in now. When you live in now, you will not have any desire for anything else, and likewise, you will only be in now when you give up all desires, even the desire to be in it. Give up all desires to stay here or there or anywhere, and give up the desire for this and for that. How can I give up all desires? By keeping quiet. Please tell me, did I lose my identity or did I find myself which has no identity? You don't know what identity you lost and what identity you found. Identification with body is identity. Then you become a son, a father, a mother, or whatever. This is physical identity. And as long as it stays, you can't see the identity beyond all identifications. As long as body identification stays, you can't have the identity beyond all identities, the identity of I am. This is identity with your own self, not with the ego mind, body, senses, objects. How can I totally destroy the mind so that the beauty of the self can shine forever in ultimate freedom? Be the ocean of bliss, and you will not see the relationships with the world. You will only see ocean. You won't have any relationships with what is outside the ocean. Just a connection with your own fullness of water. This fullness is your original state, and this is to be enjoyed. Stay within the ocean as the ocean, thinking only of ocean always. Nothing else but this ocean should come in your mind, eyes, or contact. Always be in the contact with the content of the ocean. This you must do. Think of that, smell that, hear that, touch that. This will end your conflicts. 1.5 years ago, when I received Diksha, initiation in Hardwar, during Diwali, everything changed, though it appeared no different. I am so thankful and grateful to you. Papaji, there is a small flame which burns in the fullness of itself, and I am its servant, though not always willingly. Thank you. Where do you see this blue flame? I don't see it, though it is wherever I am looking. It is there, but you cannot see it. You feel it, though. It is looking at you. It means you are a rare one, a lucky person who this flame can look upon. This flame is divinity itself. It has no form and not even a name. It will work. You have to keep it up. This flame will reveal itself in full formlessness. As you see the dawn before the sun, having had a vision of the flame shows that you are heading in a good direction. Keep it. Keep quiet. And simply see you are not to do anything. This will always attract you, and this is called meditation. When you are attracted to something, it is called meditation. And this is the best attraction and the best form of meditation. So let it be as it is. There is more that I can tell you, but I won't openly because so many people will copy your experience and will start seeing blue lights, since it becomes whatever you imagine. But they'll just be fake experiences. This light is within and reflects that which is within unto the outside. It is within your own heart, and seeing it is a good symptom, and will give you peace and happiness like the big blue sky does. You have to see this light in your heart, equal in size to your thumb. This light is your own heart, and lightens the whole universe from here. This is the light of your own self, of your own Atman. When you are pure, with no desire, you can imagine or feel this light, and you can never get rid of it because it is always with you. Wherever you see this light, and see that it is your own self. This light wants to appear to you in satsang, and not while you are in the fish market. The fish market will only give you bad smells, and most people prefer this. What is this interval between the stream of thoughts? In that interval is consciousness. Between two clouds there is an interval, and that interval is the blue sky. Slow down the thoughts and look into the intervals, yes. Look into the intervals and pay more attention to the interval than the cloud. Where the first thought has left and the other is not arisen, that is consciousness, that is freedom, that is your place, your own abode. You are always there, you see. Shift the attention, change the gestalt. Don't look at the figure, look at the background. If I put a big blackboard the size of the wall here and mark it with a white point and ask you, what do you see? 99% of you will not see the blackboard. You will say, I see a little white spot. Such a big blackboard, and it is not seen, and only a little white spot, which is almost invisible, is seen. Why? Because this is the fixed pattern of the mind. To look at the figure, not the blackboard. To look at the cloud, not at the sky. To look at the thought and not at consciousness. That's all the teaching is. Always look to consciousness. Always look to consciousness and know this is what you are. This is your own place, your own abode. Stay there. No one can touch you. Who can enter here where you are? Even your mind cannot enter. You are not the body is often spoken here. There are some who believe in the preciousness of the body so that there can be the experience of life as sacred. They feel a liberation by feeling completely present in the body. The sacredness of life is the Purusha within you. Experience that. It is not the body which can be made male or female. You are the Purusha within the heart of everyone, whether they appear to be male or female. It is mentioned in the Upanishads and other holy sutras that this Purusha is equal to the length of a thumb. It is within your own heart, forever burning as a flame. It is your own self, your own Atman. When you concentrate on that, you will see that you are this Purusha and not the gender male or female. They do not identify with that, but identify with their body for their own interest. No one is told about this eternal Purusha which doesn't come and go. This is what I spoke. Neither do I come, nor do I go. It is that Purusha which speaks. If you become that and merge with this Purusha, then it speaks from where the speech arises from and not what the tongue can speak. The tongue can speak, but where does the strength come from which enables it to speak? That comes from the fountain which is called Purusha, Aham Purusha, that Purusha which I refer to. How to release the self and be in love at the same time? Self is not bound, it is not chained, there is no prison for that. It is always free. I know that your grace is the only thing which will wake me out of the world of my mind. Even the strength of my longing for freedom is your grace. Will you tell me what my real name is? All the names which are given to you are given by parents and priests, but this is not your real name. When you are born, you don't come out with a name. Only later do you become a Suzanne or whatever. You have no name and don't think that you have one. You are nameless. Where there is form, there is name. And where there is name, there must be form. You are not that. You are within the form. And you are someone which has no name because only a form needs name. Who is sitting in your own heart? Does this have a name? The indweller of the heart? That is what you really are. You are not born of your parents. You are that which has no name, which will never die or be born, that which is eternal. If you believe what people say, why not believe that I am that? I am Atman. I am peace. I am love. I am bliss. If you don't believe this, then continue this mantra forever. I am bliss. I don't want to take on any new identity because I do not want to impose form on this bliss, on this formlessness. If you decide that you do not want any identity that touches name and form, you will instantly become formless. If you do not touch this concept of identity, then you are free, here and now. You go to the past every time that you use your name. People have to call you by some name, but that name should not touch the past. Buddha also is a name, but when you call him Buddha, what personality comes to mind? So your name should not remind you of any attachments or relations. Therefore, many names are given here in this satsang which do not touch any personality. People leave their old names and pass here. If I say go and bring Miss Emptiness here, will you bring her? The word is there. The meaning is there, but will you bring her? It can't be done. Like this Atman in you has a name, but you can't hold it. It is beyond space and which cannot be touched. I see that I should not necessarily reject the negative things in life that come and go. I should just not be attached. Everything in the universe comes, stays, and goes. What doesn't come, stay or go, is your own self. They say that there are 3 classes of seekers: those who get it fast like camphor, those who get it soon like gunpowder, and those who get it slowly like wet wood. What advice do you give to the wet wood? There are no classes and nothing to be gained. You are always free, but your attention is somewhere else. Just return your attention to yourself and away from impermanent objects. What you are is always here. I want to burn like camphor and remain here. When you put camphor near a flame, it quickly catches fire. The Guru is the flame, and your heart is camphor. If your decision, dedication, and seriousness is strong, then if you go close to the flame in your heart, nothing will be left. If you are charcoal, it will take time, and there will be residue, and a fresh branch will take even longer. Yet even these people will get everything in a matter of minutes if they're not looking anywhere but to self. Is this awareness in me it? No, it is not. The awareness is not it. You are aware of persons, objects, and ideas, and all of these are from the past. Awareness of the past is not it. The one who is aware of this awareness is it. Do you follow? Who is aware of awareness? When you are aware of an object, you are also aware that you are aware of something in your mind. So who is aware of this awareness? Turn your face to that which is aware of something, and when you know this, then forget it. If you do not forget it, it will become a past experience and draw your attention to the past, making this something which comes and goes. It is not the past, so forget about the experiences of it. If you do, you are a free person of the world, not even attached to enlightenment. Forget about everything, that is all. But if you remember, then this remembrance is memory, and this is past. So whatever comes in front of you, react. That is all. This is the advice. How can we know it? We describe it as happiness, peace, love. It is not that. It is much more. It is much beyond whatever you can expect. Expectation is only the mind, which itself doesn't even exist. It is much more beyond this, and it can be had in this very instant. You need not have any big program to arrive there. No effort is needed. No method is there. Simply keep quiet, and it will reveal itself. Simply don't interfere. Give it a chance now. You have spent millions of years. Now give 1 second to it. Let it unfold. Let it reveal itself to you. You are imposing your own notions, intentions, expectations, and ideations. Therefore, you cannot see this revelation. It is a revelation. You just keep quiet. It will happen. Not with meditation, not with concentration, not with pilgrimages, not by going to church, not by penance, not by yoga. All these things will not help you to reach there. It is here. All these things take you on a program of postponement. Mind is cheating you. Don't listen to it. Simply keep quiet. Don't start a thought. Even that much effort is not needed. It will reveal itself. I see only the inside is real. Only that is always here. If the inside is real, the outside also has to be real. Therefore, I do not prescribe any unreality. Everything is real. Everything is self. I would like a name which reminds me of self. When you look at the sky or ocean, you see that it looks blue. But if you take a handful of air or water, it is not blue. So how can something which has no color have a color? It is by virtue of its depth that it has color, and so that which is beyond measure in depth or height looks blue. The river is not blue, but when it touches the ocean, it becomes blue. It is the same with a raindrop, which is clear only until it touches the ocean. So the name of formlessness and depth is Nilam, the blue which is not blue. This is the unseen in all beings which gives all. To know this is wisdom, light, freedom, the emancipation from the cycles of samsara. You must see that your own depth is colorless, formless. To know this, you must go to the teacher who will instantly tell you that which you did not know. This blueness is the blueness of Krishna, who is the attracting, incomprehensible depth of love. Will you give me a first shove into this depth of love beyond mind? You want to go beyond? Then go alone and carry nothing with you. Don't think of anything. Go even without thought. Not thinking is beyond. The trouble is with your thinking. You think you are suffering or with the relationship. All this you must give up absolutely. Then you will not come back to the previous habits. Simply do not think and stay alone. Troubles only arise with thoughts, as the whole world arises only from thoughts. Why get yourself in all of this trouble? Simply do not think. When you don't think, you don't need to do anything else. This is quite enough, and don't make any effort to not think. It's so simple. This laugh from beyond is conceptless and very different. This is how it has to be done. How did you call me here? I am so grateful for everything. You are like a bird which flies over the borders of countries with no need of a passport. The bird is never arrested, only the man. You are free like a bird, free of all societal impositions and identifications. Don't listen to society. Be free and go wherever you like, and then, of course, you will be called to a place of freedom where similar birds fly. Those who stay behind will continue to suffer. It is true that the individual I and mind never existed, and that ignorance has never existed. It is too much to understand, but it is true. Where there is light, there is no darkness. What is that light that enables you to know that there is light? I feel so good now in your presence that my mind won't move enough to allow me to follow your words. This is intelligence. I feel that I have touched something like nothing I have never touched before. And this is bliss. This is the happiness that will never disappear. This is nothing. One touch of this is enough because it is not in time. One ray from this is enough to hold your mind forever. It will not allow any conflict between you and your old habits and activities. You are very lucky. I will tell you a Sufi parable. In one of the great ancient courts, everyone was waiting, according to rank, for the king to enter. In came a plain, shabby-dressed man who took a seat above everybody else. The prime minister ordered the newcomer to identify himself. "Are you a minister?" "No, more than that," was the man's answer. "Are you a king?" asked the prime minister. "Greater than all kings I am," said the man. "Are you God?" he asked. "I am above that also," replied the poor man. The prime minister retorted, "There is nothing above God," which brought the reply, "That nothing is me." Since God is manifested as the world, can you worship the earth as a form of worship to God? Everything that is created is in God. Then who will worship whom? If you are separate, then you can worship. But if you know that all creations are the choice of God, then you can't make the choice to get out of this choice in order to worship the choice. We need not worship anybody, because we are that itself. Let worship be for those who do not know this. True worship is the spontaneous love and adoration of self. Anything else called worship is just an idea of worship coming from the heads of religions in order to give you fear. If you don't worship, you will go to hell. So worship and fear go together. You can't worship if you don't have any fear. But why have fear? God is living inside you, and you are living inside God. Make the decision with right discrimination. Then you can do whatever you like. If you bring the concept of sin and merit in your brain, then you can go and follow any church. But I don't advise you to go to any church because you are not different from that. You are that. Give belief to this fact. Sit quietly for 10 minutes before sleep and after waking up, and give the rest of the time to the world, helping those who need your help. Pythagoras once said, "It is best to stay silent or to stay something better than silence." I think that he knew the teaching. Kabir says something similar. Kabir spoke from a pure heart, and only a pure heart can catch hold of the meaning. In his own words, he says, "Chanting dies, silence also ends. That which has no limits, space, also dies. When awareness merges with the word, then that does not die. What you speak dies. What you do not speak also dies. What has no limits also dies. The awareness, consciousness, enters into word, and that does not die." Many people at the Kabir Mat in Varanasi wanted to know what this awareness word was and how the limitless could die. Anahat means limitless, and it is also a word for Aum. So beyond Anahat, there is a word that nobody knows. Anahat is not limitlessness. Your message of Be Still has finally come home. Thank you so much. I am glad that you are back here and that you went to Arunachala, the place which gives you silence and peace. Establish your identity with the one who has no identity, or name, or form. Identify with that. Nobody is there except silence. Identify with this place. Is the self that which is the center of all things? Self has no center, no circumference, no meditator to meditate on a center, and no meditation. It is very free, very fluent, very natural and spontaneous, and has no fatigue because there is no doership. Doership is, I am doing this. I have to do that. I am troubled, and I am happy. All these relationships will not be there because they are just passing through the body. You are untouched by all of these. You are beyond even the concept of all of these. You can turn your back on all manifestations, gods, creatures, but do not be shy to your own self. You have been shy all of these millions of years and looking at what was not worth looking at. Now, don't be shy of your own self. Open your eyes and see. Papaji, it is just space. Excellent, excellent. It is space and it has no limitations. Everything is in this space, and you are this space. I am space. There are no limitations. All desires are met here when you are in this space because everything is in this space. This is how all the desires of one, who is this space, are fulfilled before they arise. The king of a country does not say, I will buy this land and that land over there. This idea does not even come to him because he is the monarch of the whole kingdom. He owns everything. So it is when you become this space. There will be the end of desires, and therefore the end of suffering. Desires give you suffering. Whenever any desire arises, you want to go near it. You want to achieve it and do. Then you are happy, isn't it? You may think that the object made you happy, but really it is the absence of desire, that moment of emptiness that makes you happy. Being empty of desire is happiness. Return to your own source and you are happy. This is the trick of happiness. To get rid of all suffering and all deaths, stay as source. There nothing exists. All is perfection, fullness, and that is your nature. You are already that and will always be that. All these notions like I am the body and I am ego give you suffering. These notions you have been told, and there was a time when all these notions did not exist. You were perfect, and even now you are perfect. Get rid of all these notions that have been dumped on your head. Shake them off, and you will see who you are at this present moment. What notion is in your mind right now? I am noticing how much struggle there is when I don't let go. There is no need to struggle. It is the struggling that is the suffering. Don't give rise to any thought, not even the thought of who is going to struggle, and not even the thought of I. No I, no body, no ego, no mind. No senses, no objects, no manifestations. To return back, see that manifestation is not other than these senses and sense perceptions. The manifestation is what your sense perceptions are. Senses are not other than mind going out. You cannot really separate the mind from the senses. There is no mind without the senses. Mind is not other than ego, and ego is not other than the I. And this I, this sense of being, is not other than the source. Now let's start from the source and see what happens. I rises from the source, like a wave rises from the ocean. Let this I arise, and let everything belong to you. I arises and becomes ego. Ego becomes mind. Mind becomes senses. Senses become the objects of their respective senses. All this is within you, rising within you, within consciousness. You must be consciousness to see everything in consciousness. You are in trouble because you think that you are the body and mind, and this is the cause of suffering. It is arrogance to consider yourself an individual ego-mind body and to attribute all that you do to this individual. It is just simply arrogance. Why not call all this the source? Why not call all this consciousness? All of this is emptiness. You just play the game of the dancer in it, and let this game be played. You can see yourself as individual or as consciousness. One is destruction, and one is peace. What more? Stay as is and see. You don't have to control anything. Don't desire anything to happen. You are space. Everything is I. Everything is you. Everything is itself, and this is your nature. You don't have to do anything about it. Keep things open and see now the emptiness. See the screen on which all is projected. When you go to a theater, you see pictures projected on a screen. Some are of mountains, rivers, some of romance, and some are people being attacked by robbers. When the movie is over, the screen has no wetness from the river, nor smell from the romance, nor bullet holes from the robbers' guns. The screen is immaculately clean. This manifestation is also a projection of your desires, which fall across your mind and cause you to identify yourself as the projected watcher of the picture. You are not these projections. You are the screen. If you identify yourself with the immaculate, unchanging, eternal screen itself, which is the same before, during, and after the show, you will not change, and so you will not suffer the changes but enjoy them. All beings are this one immaculate screen. There is no need for practice to clean the dust off it because it is beyond everything. The teachers who want you to do lifetimes of practice can clean this dust off their own minds. I want this forever. This experience you did not have before, and all the experiences which you had, they have left. They are gone. Therefore, we still want this forever. This will not leave you. Before things were leaving you, now here you will not be left. You are in the grip of a very supreme power. You will not be allowed to be left. It's not your fear now. You can't escape. Now you cannot escape. You cannot escape love. Once you touch it, you get lost. Nothing ever exists that can come out again. Everything is discharged and becomes that itself. When the river enters the ocean, it will turn instantly into the ocean. I still cannot believe it is possible. When the river enters the ocean, does it ask the question, will I be forever like this? That is the previous fear that is leaving now. All the experiences get lost because they are not perpetual. They are not permanent. They were only imaginations, only hallucinations, therefore they get lost. This is beyond concept, perception's imagination. Where will it be lost? The wave is afraid. I want to ever remain a wave. Fear is in the mind of the wave. I will be lost. I will be lost. Wave is now fearing. I will be lost. Where will it be lost? Where will it go? Whenever lost, what will it become? When the wave is lost, no more wave. It returns back to its source, the ocean. The ocean she was, the ocean she is, and the ocean she will be. Where? Forever. There is no time concept at all. Time is in the mind of an ignorant person. Ignorant because in light, in wisdom, there is no such notion as I am separate from all or separate from fullness, from vastness. That was a notion before, in the mind of an ignorant person. In wisdom, no such notions arise, no separation. All is unity and love and beauty. There is no escape. Ignorance is gone. This is eternal life. This is nectar. Yes, I see. I see nothing. Excellent. If you see, this seeing is being. When you see through the eyes at objects, that may be distortion, but this seeing is being. There are different eyes to see. It depends on you, which eyes you want to use and are using. This sight has nothing to do with eyes. It is inner being, inner sight. If you do it, you will see always with the same eyes inside or outside. There will be no difference between nirvana and samsara. Whatever you will see will be inside. All beauty, all wisdom. That eye has no limitation. Not inside or outside, you see. When you give up looking through these eyes on your head, the other eyes will open. So pick up the eye thought as you have done now, return back, and that sight will open. When you said, I see nothing, nothingness is the beauty of that sight, that divine sight. You will get it, and you will see everything as being beautiful. When you see a pig or a dog, why not see God? God is the seer in you. When you see a dog, know it is God who is seeing the dog. That much faith you should have, and you must do it by yourself. Everybody is going to cheat you by telling you that what you are doing is stupidness. So I am happy that you are a strong person. Stick to your path. Even if there is nobody, then you walk alone. I understand that from the point of view of the self there is nothing to do. But from the point where I am, is there anything I can do to loosen the grip of the mind and remove this addiction to ego? First of all, find out if your point of view is superior to the point of view of the self. And if it is, follow your own. If you are superior to the Creator, to your Father, to your own self, if you are more superior than the Atman, then you follow your own point of view and see the consequences of the practices. Point of view of self is self. Truth is truth. This is already here and now. What practice do you need to arrive at yourself and to see yourself? Do you need any? No, but when thoughts come up, self is earlier than your body. Earlier than what you speak, earlier than the word. How to reach him? Give up the concept of any practice, any method. If you have done this, then tell me what it is. Where are you? Don't give rise to any concept of effort or practice. Don't make any effort and don't stir your mind. Don't think and don't make any effort. if you really understand what I mean, tell me who you are and what do you want. No practice, no thought. In between these two. Don't think, don't stir a single thought in your mind, and don't make any effort. If you have heard what I speak about, then it is your time to speak. Now tell me, who are you? Don't think, don't make any effort. I want to see God. Therefore God has brought you here now. Everyone is God, but we do not see it unless we see God within ourselves. If you first see God in yourself, you will see Him in the animals, birds, and rocks. More and more I see God hiding in people's eyes. God is not hiding. When you do not see God, it is only because you are looking elsewhere. So you must absolutely see God and nothing else. Then it is the God that is looking through your eyes. Surrender to God and keep quiet, and He will take your responsibilities. As long as you take your responsibilities on your own head, God doesn't take care, and it only seems that He is hiding. You say, I am God. Is the drop the same as the ocean? There is no difference between the drop and the ocean. It is the totality of drops that make the ocean. Endless drops are the ocean. Are they of the same quality? Is your no mind the same as mine? Yes, they have the same quality. 1 grain of sugar and a pound of sugar taste the same. And yes, your no mind is the same as mine. You say that no mind is no doubt. No mind is no doubt because there is nothing there to doubt. What is the experience in no mind? There is no experience. There is only experience out of this, of some object. You have to get rid of the experiences of the past, and in this second, there is no experience. Nothing to experience, and no experiencer. You are free of everything. Experiences happen in time, but in this moment there is no time. This instant is out of time. It seems easy to miss the beauty of ordinary no mind. There is no ordinary no mind. No mind is no mind. No mind is where you don't think about anyone. Not about you, not about anyone else. Where words and language disappear. This is no mind. Let the mind sleep. This is no mind. Freedom, enlightenment. But when the mind is awake, then you are bound. Let the mind sleep, and you stay awake. Please illumine my mind with the truth which will set me free. I want to see the Atma Surya shining in the heart, which burns away all desires. Please enlighten me. This Atma Surya, which you are referring to, is your heart. How to see the light of this Surya is right belief, right knowledge, right actions. Then you will see it. It will reveal itself. Your belief should not shake. I have to see this sun in my own heart. This is the right belief. To understand this is right knowledge. With this, you have to improve all your actions to all the beings. You must act with love and compassion, so that none is hurt by you. This will take you to see where the sun abides in the heart. This sun abides in the hearts of all beings. Once you see your own sun, you will see this same light in all beings, not only in animals, but even in the insects. But you have to see your own light first. You have a beautiful name, Hari. Who gave you this name? Anandamayi Ma. It means one who steals the hearts of all beings, one who swallows the heart of all beings. It is a beautiful name of the self. A wave called Jasmine would love a wave called Papaji to look into her eyes and celebrate that. A celebration will take place if these waves are not separate from the ocean. It is only a wave who thinks that he is separate. I can travel anywhere in the water. I have length and breadth by which I swim to the shore. But again, it falls back and becomes ocean. So know that I am ocean, because the water content of the wave is not different than the water content of the ocean. This water is the basis of the unity that is not affected even if the wave thinks it is separate from the ocean. You are not different than the ocean, and the ocean is not separate from the wave. This you must celebrate, the end of separation. Nothing arises without self. All existence is one in one's own self. The wave plays on the chest of the ocean, feeling separation. She moves through time. Eventually she falls back into the ocean. As she rises from the ocean and walks in the ocean, and she falls back into ocean, the oneness is not disturbed. The movement of the wave makes no difference to the ocean. The ocean, being not separate from you, cannot cheat you. If you know this, you can play as you like. Love doesn't forget. If you don't know this, you will suffer. I had a very strong dream last night, after which there was considerable silence. I don't know what it means. This silence is a border. There is neither waking or sleeping, only silence. This border behind waking and sleeping is the silence in which you do not experience anything. You do not have any memory of the past. It has no name, but if you want to use one, silence or emptiness are the best. Not knowing what it means is confirmation of the border, of the silence, because senses and memory are not working and the ego is not there. This is between sleep and waking. Here there is no I and no you and no they. This can be called emptiness. From here everything emerges or appears, and into this all disappears as well. Would you please speak again of how the Buddha's face is on every sand grain? In every sand grain you can see the face of Buddha. Everyone can do it. Everywhere you can see your own face. The face of Buddha means the face of your own wisdom, your own self, your own Atma. Then you will see Atman living in all atoms of the universe. But you must first introduce yourself to this grain of sand, to this most minute particle on earth. First of all, remove all desires to see anything anywhere. Then you will see your face everywhere, because where are you not present? I cannot actually speak of this, but it is an experience that every enlightened person has. Everybody will have this experience if they only give up their desire for any object, any person, and any idea. When you do it, instantly you will see. Don't have the desire to meet with any person, because every person belongs to the past. Any object or concept that you speak about all belong to the past. If you don't touch the past, then you will see your face everywhere. Otherwise, you will think that you are a donkey. I know that I am a lion, but I want to know why I'm walking with the donkeys. I want to let my donkeyness go and always be a lion. If you know that you are a lion, then there is no problem to walk with the donkeys, because donkey is the food of a lion. The trouble comes when the lion forgets that he is a lion and thinks that he is a donkey. I will tell you the enlightening story of a lion. Once there was a washerman, a laundryman, In ancient times, they would load the laundry of the village onto a donkey and bring it to the riverbank to wash it. One day a lioness came to drink water at the place where the laundryman was washing when a poacher shot and killed her. As the lioness was dying, she gave birth. The poacher came and skinned the lioness, but left the newborn cub behind. So the laundryman came and took it home in his basket and nursed it with milk. Now be careful to listen to what happened to this lion. This cub did not know who its mother was and was fed by the washerman, who also took him to the river every day. Eventually he was big enough, and so the washerman started loading this donkey with linen. This donkey started to eat grass with the other donkeys, because one acquires the habits of those that they keep company with, just as a child who stays with smokers starts to smoke. This is how habits are formed. One day when this donkey was grazing with the other donkeys, a lion saw it and thought, "I am confused. How is this lion eating grass with the donkeys? His food is donkeys, but he is eating grass with the donkeys. I will go near and see." So he went near, and all the donkeys fled away, including this donkey. But the lion was very big and fast and caught hold of the donkey by the neck and said, "What is the matter? You are a lion, and yet you are running with donkeys, and you are afraid of me. We belong to the same community." "No, sir, don't bluff me. I am a donkey," the young lion said as he trembled in the grip of the wise old lion. "I am a donkey. Please don't eat me. My brothers and sisters are waiting for me. Let me go, please. Don't make a joke. I am a donkey. I know I am a donkey." "You are a lion. Don't be so foolish to think that you are a donkey," said the wise lion. "How can I believe this, that I am a lion? I am a donkey." So this wise lion took him to the river and said, "Look at the reflection of your face. Is your face not similar to mine?" The young lion exclaimed, "Yes, sir, my face is like yours." "Now open your mouth and utter a roar like me." This lion did not know how to roar. He had been braying with the donkeys and had forgotten how to roar because nobody had told him this. But to roar was his nature, and so he opened his mouth and roared. Instantly, he became a lion. This roar removed all doubt about who he really was. Then this lion went after the donkeys to eat them. Now the question is, how did this donkey become a lion? In one instant of time, he was a lion. What made this donkey a lion? He uttered a roar. Otherwise, he was always braying. So you need a Satguru to take you to the river and show you your own face. You are not a donkey, but you are living in the society of donkeys, which are the people who are body-bound and say, "I am bound." Those who say, "I am bound," "I am suffering," "I am dying," are all donkeys. The Guru tells you that you are not bound. Utter a roar that I am free. That makes the difference. But you have only been bleeding because this is the habit of the society that you live with. Lions become donkeys when they are in evil company. When you come here, I will forcibly part your jaws and make you roar. You have been born to parents who are donkeys, and this made the difference. But a donkey cannot stay in front of a lion. Stop staying in your own shit, which you have shat for lifetimes, and be a lion. It is up to you. Wait, grow up, suffer, and do what the donkeys are doing. Somebody will put dirty linen on you, and you will be under the charge of the laundryman. No. Someday, some lion will look at you, and you will become a lion because you have always been a lion. No donkey becomes a lion. Only stupid, foolish, wicked society turns you into a donkey. Senses are the donkey, but you really are a lion. Eternal, unborn consciousness. The lion Satguru takes you to the lake of consciousness to show you your own face. You are already that, and this is all the teacher has to say. Anyone who identifies themselves as individual is a sheep and has a very big arrogant ego. Lions have no I, no ego, and no identification. Sheep are led to the slaughterhouse to be butchered, but butchers are the food of lions. My dear friend, you are a free man. Who told you that you were bound? Think about this. No one has bound your hands. No one has chained your feet. You simply think that you are bound, and so you are bound. If you think you are free, you are free. It is up to you. I am free, and you are free. This is a thought only. When you don't think, you are a realized person. Thank you for bringing me to the river. I have only been yawning, not roaring. A yawn is when you are going to sleep. A roar means you are awake. When the lion roars, it means that it is awake, and all the animals of the forest, like the deer and rabbits, run away because it is awake. But when the lion yawns, everybody says, "The lion is sleeping, so let us go and find our food." Hearing the roar, everybody goes back to their holes. So when you roar, all the tendencies of the mind, of the laziness, and all thieves of peace which keep you from finding yourself will run away and not be there. Now you are awake. The roar is, "I am free." Looking for something to only feed your body or your mind or just your eyes means that you are yawning. Therefore, you have to make the roar, "I am free." Where to go? The ego is sleeping, and so this is the perfect time to go and attend satsang. Those people who are sleeping have not yet heard the roar of their self, and therefore have been sleeping and will keep on sleeping. There is no way to bring them to satsang because it is not the time for those people. Let them sleep. But you, stay awake. Come to satsang and roar like a lion.